Make that squawking sound. It's completely harmless. I'm gonna give you a prescription, and you are gonna go away.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most cutting and amusing quips from Dr. Gregory House on the TV series House.
I still know how to handle a patient.
Get me blood. Lots of blood. They're better. They've showered.
Number 10, Aliens. Cain and Abel. The truth is out there. In this episode, House's team gets a young patient who is seemingly abducted by aliens after experiencing a strange event in his room and ending up on his front lawn. Naturally, House and most of his team are skeptical.
Had all his vaccinations, fractured his right ulnar at age 3, chickenpox at age 5.
Did he ever get his feelings hurt? I'll need to know that too.
However, Dr. Robert Chase is a bit more open-minded. The Australian doctor wants to believe, citing the vastness of the universe as evidence of the likelihood that we're not alone.
Enough to think that of the 50 billion galaxies, 100 billion stars per galaxy, and 10 million billion planets in the universe, that we're the only ones with life.
However, House is ready with a witty rejoinder about how humanity is still unique in one respect.
But I'm guessing we're the only ones who like shoving things through our back doors.
Number 9, sounds familiar, living the dream. Hospital inspections would probably be stressful enough in any hospital. However, Princeton Plainsboro has House running around.
What do you want? An autographed picture would be nice. Oh. And I'm also gonna save your life.
And wouldn't you know it, the guy has kidnapped his favourite soap opera star while the inspection is taking place.
Just let me go. I won't press charges. Forget the whole thing.
That's probably true, seeing as how you have a brain tumor.
While he manages to stay out of the inspector's way for most of his time there, House eventually runs into him in the morgue. When the inspector, Dr. Jamie Conway, hits House with a familiar social nicety, House responds with a legendarily sarcastic response.
Dr. House, I don't think we've met.
Dr. Jamie Conway, I've heard your name.
Most people have. It's also a noun.
Given how many people's names are also common nouns, here's hoping you can use this line the next time someone says this to you. Number 8, love and hate. Occam's razor. House and Dean of Medicine Dr. Lisa Cuddy have a contentious relationship.
You're half an hour late.
Busy caseload.
One case is not a load.
So how are we doing on cotton swabs today? If there's an acute shortage, I could run home.
No, you couldn't.
Nice.
Among the many things they argue over is House's shirking of his hours at the hospital clinic. Even when he does show up, his attitude about it often puts patients off. However, as much as he gets to her, so too does she get to him. After a particularly contentious meeting between the two of them, House is questioned about their apparently fractious chemistry.
Is this important?
No.
Good.
What's with you and her?
Don't.
You have a thing for her.
House responds with his own opinion on the old expression about the thin line between love and hate.
There is not a thin line between love and hate. There is, in fact, a great wall of China with armed sentries posted every 20 feet between love and hate.
It's a great line, though given his and Cuddy's eventual romantic relationship, maybe it's not exactly accurate in this case. Number 7, easiest diagnosis. Que sera, sera. As we stated, House hates being forced to do clinic duty, and given some of the obnoxious and downright stupid things he hears from patients, it's pretty understandable. One of the gold standard examples of the latter comes in the form of a man who comes in complaining of arm pain.
It's usually worst in the morning, especially if I've slept on my arm.
Except the man's arms only hurt in very specific circumstances, after he slept on them at night.
So your arm only hurts after you lie on top of it all night.
House's blunt and sarcastic response to the man is priceless.
Well, have you thought about, I don't know, not doing that.
If only all his diagnoses could be this simple and easily treatable. Number 6, working hard. Remorse. When House goes through therapy, one of the things he needs to do is reach out to people he's wronged. However, given his abrasive personality, that's a long list. To that end, House decides to reach out to Lorenzo Wibbly, a guy whose tests he switched with in school.
Of all the people to go the extra mile for, why this guy?
I don't know. He just kind of smells good and makes me laugh.
Why not Cuddy? You never apologized after you defaced her photo.
But Wilson thinks his friend has more to apologize to Cuddy for. Through their conversation, Wilson realizes it's because House cares for her more and thus finds it more difficult.
I'm just pointing out that it's much easier to soothe your guilt by throwing money at a stranger than by making amends to a person you actually care about.
House, eager to end the discussion, comes up with a dynamite, though childish and transparent excuse.
I'm gonna pretend to go to work now.
Number 5, urgent call, both sides now. Speaking of excuses, another quarrel between House and Cuddy leads to another fantastic one. To annoy each other, both of them send an eccentric elderly patient, Eugene Schwartz, to bother one another.
Sorry to interrupt. Here's my poo. Dr. House said to bring it over and leave it with you as soon as I could.
His complaints that he's squawking prove amusing, even if it does end up being something serious. However, the childishness of House and Cuddy treating him like a yo-yo means that the former gives out House's number to Eugene.
Just squawked.
What?
Eugene Schwartz, your patient from yesterday, I just squawked.
To avoid speaking to him, House decides to use not just one phone excuse, but combine all of them into one. Truly, the man's a genius.
I'm sorry, but I'm about to lose you because I'm about to drive into a tunnel, in a canyon, on an airplane, while hanging up the phone.
Number 4, bet. Falls for love. When a woman is unable to breathe during a robbery, she and her husband turn to House. House wants to recreate the stressful moment to induce a reaction. Foreman objects, and House decides they should make it interesting with a wager.
You don't think I'm gonna get a response?
No,
You're on. $50.
I'm not betting on the patients.
$100? If you say so.
During the test, there is a reaction, all right, but from her husband, not from her. Foreman objects when House insists that he pay up for the bet that they didn't make.
Told you it would work.
Work on the wrong patient.
We could spend all day arguing right or wrong. Give me the $100.
We didn't bet.
However, House's hilariously juvenile argument is compelling.
We didn't bet.
We could spend all day arguing whether we bet or not. Give me the $100.
After all, Foreman does give him the $100. Maybe we should try this sometime. Number 3, bonus points. Humpty Dumpty. It's rare, but sometimes the main characters bring house cases themselves. In this case, Cuddy's handyman Alfredo falls off her roof, and 2 of his fingers turn darker. Cuddy takes the case to House, who offers several potential diagnoses, along with some other cutting remarks on Cuddy's appearance.
Sorry, trouble concentrating.
After she thanks him, due to how long Alfredo has worked with her, House drops a line that nearly perfectly sums up his character. Sarcastic, irreverent, and somewhat impersonal.
Thank you very much. This guy's been working for me for a long time,
Can I
and
get bonus points if I act like I care?
The same episode has another winning comeback later on, but of the more immature variety. However, it's a little simple comparatively.
are you being intentionally dense?
Number 2, medical limitations. Sleeping dogs lie. In this episode, the team treats Hannah, a woman with extreme insomnia. As her condition deteriorates, it becomes clear that she needs a liver transplant. Fortunately, her girlfriend Max is a match. Unfortunately, Hannah was planning to break up with her.
She's a good person. We've just been together so long. I'm tired of her.
Although Dr. Cameron wants to tell Max or get Hannah to, the transplant goes through with Max seemingly none the wiser. Ultimately though, House diagnoses Hannah with a truly unexpected disease, the Black Plague.
A small percentage of plague cases present with sleep disturbance. Imagine an idyllic river of bacteria.
After delivering the news, he offers both reassurances and a wicked burn, adding insult to infection.
Don't worry, it's treatable. Being a bitch, though. Nothing we can do about that.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Either or, one day, one room. This one's a real toss-up.
How many?
26.
Okay, either you suck at math, or you're gonna die in 2 seconds.
Fighting Nightfall. It's common courtesy, right?
You think I've never been in a fight?
No, I just think you've never won one.
I took on 3 guys in college once.
Hope they bought you dinner first.
Same old, merry little Christmas. Well, if you're just going to sum up the show like that...
What are you gonna do?
I thought I'd get your theories, mock them, then embrace my own. The usual.
Bullet Euphoria Part 1. One of the least effective ways to use them.
He did, however, get hit by a bullet. Just mentioning.
He was shot?
No, somebody threw it at him.
Woe is me, insensitive. Who had it worse?
I checked my eyes for jaundice, in case the Vicodins finally shot my liver.
I can't run anywhere without examining all my toes for swelling.
I can't run.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, out with it. The mistake. After a patient dies after seeing House's team, it turns out that Chase may have made a costly mistake with her results. He's sued for malpractice over her death.
You didn't ask her anything about the stomach pain?
I made one little mistake.
As little mistakes go, that was a biggie.
House digs deeper, learns that Chase learned of his own father's death as the patient came in to get a test, leaving him distracted. Given that House was aware that Chase's dad was sick, he feels responsible too.
I thought you screwed up because you were drunk. I would have fired you.
You knew?
You were depressed and distracted. I assumed you'd gotten a phone call from your stepmom.
And given that his ex, Stacy, is the hospital's lawyer, he doesn't feel like sharing. When Stacy confronts him over this, House comes up with a hysterical secret to be hiding instead of the real reason.
What are you hiding?
I'm gay. Oh, that's not what you meant. It does explain a lot, though. No girlfriend, always with Wilson. Obsession with sneakers.
He came up with that awfully quickly. Is there a House remark you think is more remarkable than the ones on our list? Share your results in the comments.
Got rectal bleeding.
What, all of you?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.